Hi guys. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how we take our PowerPoints into paragraphs. And so looking at my PowerPoint, I decided to do it on Kim Jong-un and how he faked his own death earlier this year. And for those of you who don't know, Kim Jong-un is the dictator of North Korea. So when he faked his own death, it was like a big deal because it's like, oh my gosh, what's North Korea going to do now? But he faked his death, so he's still the leader. Anyway, so on my PowerPoint, I have my headings, which are the questions that I asked and then answered. So my question was for my first paragraph: has a leader ever faked their death before? And then here I have bullet points as to what happened, when it happened, and then on my next one I have how did the rumor start? And then here I have my bullet points of information again. And then on my third one, what is the evidence of a missing leader? And then here I have the last of my bullets and points. And down here I have my sources. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up a new tab, make a new doc. And when you make this new doc, it is very important that you title it so that you can find it, so that in like a week and a half, you're not scrambling trying to figure out where your document is because it didn't save. So, first thing you need to do, change the title to Pop Culture. Ooh. Pop Cultural? No. Oh my gosh. How do I not remember how to spell pop culture? Is that it? Pop culture. Oh my gosh. Pop culture. And then we're going to go encyclopedia, colon, and then your topic. So mine would be Kim Jong-un. All right, now what you're going to do in your doc, we need to put in the first question. So going back to your PowerPoint, has a leader ever faked their death before? The easiest thing to do here is just to copy and paste the question. But the way that you get it, so if you just copy and paste it, it looks like that, right? And you don't want it to look like that. So if you go Command Shift B, or for you it'll be Control Shift B, it'll put the text and the lettering into the format of your paper instead of the format of the PowerPoint. So we have, has a leader ever faked their death before? And that is going to be my first topics. What am I trying to say? My first paragraph header. So has a leader ever faked their death before? And then I'm going to start in April. What is wrong with me? Why can't I spell? It's because I'm doing this on a weekend. Oh my gosh. April of 2020. And then you'll go in with your information. Now, we have the bulletin points so we know kind of how we're going to talk about each thing throughout the paragraph. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at your bulletin points and you are going to look at how they can be set up as a paragraph. Now, when you have this done, when you have your first slide done and made into a paragraph, which will be at least 6 sentences, you'll go on to the next one, which would be, for me, how did the rumor start? And then remember, Control Shift V, we'll put it in the way that you want it to. How did the rumor start? And then Kim missed an important meeting. And then you're going to do your last one. And for me, it is, what is the evidence of a missing leader? I want that to be separate. What is the evidence of a missing leader? And then once again, go back through your PowerPoint, look at your bulletin points, because you have the information there. And then if you find that you don't have enough information, you still have your sources, which is a huge help, because after we have what is the evidence of a missing leader, then we'll say the information that we need to say here. And then at the end, sources. And remember, you need to have at least 3 sources, but for your PowerPoint, you already have them. So we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to stick them right in there. Now, remember, as you do this, you need to make sure that whatever information isn't coming from your own brain, if it's coming from an author or if it's coming from a direct quote, you need to make sure you have an author title. So for me, in April of 2020, we have the BBC news that did it, and because I recently looked it up, there wasn't an author listed, but it was the BBC staff. So I'm going to say in April of 2020, BBC staff reported, and then I'll put my direct quote. And then in this one, instead of summarizing, I'm going to paraphrase. So in this one, it says, Kim missed an important meeting. And then we'll go down here to the Washington Post. So Kim missed an important meeting. And I know that the author of the Washington Post, because I just looked at it, their name was Dan Lean. So Kim missed an important meeting. And then we'll say Dan Lean, writer for the Washington Post, writes on how this was a crucial meeting for North Korean leaders and the absence of the leader. Well, I don't like leader. We'll say the absence of the dictator caused questions around Kim's. Okay, so paraphrasing is where we take the information. We do have to include an author tag, but we take the information and we write it in our own words. Summarizing is when we have the author tag and we do direct quotes. So make sure that you're using a combination of both of those in your essay. And make sure that each one of your sources has authors to go with them. There are going to be some sources where it doesn't have a main author, like for my first one, how it was just the BBC staff. That's fine to do, but do make sure to look for an author. Like the Washington Post is going to have an author, as well as CBS News will have its own author that is writing about the article. So that's what you're doing for your paragraphs into your essay. So get started.